Hello friends, welcome to my channel. So in last video, I showed you how to insert data through model, using model with in terminal. And we have also seen that it's inserted in our front end. That means you can see the data you have sent through the terminal using model, it will be saved. It is saved over here and also in the DB Schoolite 3. So today we are going to discuss the insert part. You have seen that how we can insert data using model through terminal, but now I will show how frontend and Ajax will work. In the way frontend will send the request and then the backend will give the response and whatever thing will going you can see over here. So let's start. So first let me show you the URL. So let's go to the URL of my project and you can see this is my project URL. That means when I will give over here, that means now you can see that localhost colon 8000 slash task. That means we are already inside the task. That means when the URL is like something task, that means localhost colon 8000 slash task slash, that means it will directly go to the url.py of project. And here it will check that it's matching or not. So you can see that this route is mentioned over here. So it will directly refer to the url.py of my app, which is to do app. So from here the control will directly go to the app url.py. That means here, and here it will go and check that first it will check that this is an empty route, and that's why it will refer to the next one, which is task underscore list. So that means initially we are just we want to show or we want to display the data in my front end. So that's why the data is visible in the front end. And now this is my function based view. So it will go to the control will directly go to the views.py from here. So here we can see that we have five function based view. So one by one we will discuss each. Okay. So let's start with display part. That means the get method. You can see, let me show you that here we are going to call the post method. That means we are applying post method. So do you think will it work? I mean, we are not going to call get method in this function based view. So what will happen? You can see that the data is visible over here, but we are not going to call in the insert part. We are not going to call the get method. So how it will be possible? So this is possible because we have already defined a function to get method. That means this function will work for get method. If you want, you can mention over here that if request dot method equal to post, so you can mention. But I didn't mention. For get method, you don't need to mention that you are taking get method. It will be by default word. Okay, so you can see that I am going to take all the data. This is my model that I have created in my model.py. You can see over here task. This is my class, and actually this is the model that I'm creating to store the data which will contain all of these attributes. Okay, so let's go to the wait. Okay, so let's go to the views.py again. So here you can see that this is my model and this is objects. What is this? This is a mapper that will map all the objects to the model. That means, and here this is nothing but ORM. That means we are using here ORM which Django going to provide us. That means in this project we are using a few of ORM. ORM means object relation mapper. So here in this line we are using all ORM. So let me mention over here. I'm going to mention ORM means object relation, relational or relation mapper. That means it will map all the objects. Okay. So now I'm going to store it into a variable or into a reference called task, and this task is nothing but query set. This is a type of query set. Query set is this is not a Django data type. It actually Ajax or something else. JavaScript. It's a data type of Python. That means it is used in Python. So task is a reference, and this is of type query set. You will be able, okay, I will show you again. So now what will happen? So I have stored all the data, all the table, I mean raw tables in my reference called task. That means the in this way, or I'm taking the raw data. That means the name will be there and description will be there. Whatever thing I am going to take, it will be in the raw form. If you want, I let me show you in my database table. Okay, so you can see this is my DB SQLite 3. This is my database that I'm using, and this is provided by Django by default. So let me show you. This is a type of tuple. I mean, all the data are coming. You can see ID, name, description, completed, created, updated, everything. So this is nothing but a tuple, and this tuple is going to show you the raw data. This is of type raw data. So that's why you can see, and this will be your table for, and this table is inside your DB SQLite 3. Whenever you will create a model, I mean, you create a new model, it will have a table, and in the table will be inside DB SQLite 3. Okay. Wait for a minute. Okay, so let me close this one. Okay, so we are again here. So this will do what? We know that whenever we are going to use the function based view, or we are going to define, then it will give you HTTP response. And here what will happen, it will give you render function. This function based view, which is taking a parameter, it will give you render function, and this render function you can write like this: return followed by render. And this again, this render function will take three parameters. Why three parameters? Because we are passing here context. That's why it's taking three parameters. If you don't want to pass anything, then it will take only two parameters, and first parameter will be request. Second will be your template that you are using to show your data. And third one here, third one is what? Third one is your query set, which is in the current scenario, it is a query set, and this is of type, actually we are passing a context, and this context is of type now query set. And this will come in picture in the form of dictionary. Okay, that's why you can see over here I have passed in the form of dictionary over here. Okay, so when we are not going to insert any data, suppose you have right now we have already a data, but if I don't want to insert any data, then it will be empty. There will be nothing to show you. But as we have already inserted the data, and using only model, not through the Ajax, so it will be shown over here there, because we are using over this one. Now what will happen? Let me tell you that we already get function is working over here, so we don't need to again do go for get function, I mean get method. So now we will do what? We will simply go to the use the post method. That's why I mentioned over here that post method will work over here. So let me disclose this one. Okay. So you can see that I am passing a message over here, which is I mean, in the form of return, sorry, get method. But if I don't pass over, then also it will work, because as I told you that already we have defined a get method in this function based view. So we don't need to again call the get method. So for the time being, I have given over there. But if you want, you can't. If you want not, if you don't want to give, then you cannot go do this. In my other projects, I didn't mention, but still my project is working very, very, very efficiently. I mean, very nicely. So let's discuss. Okay, so you can see that I'm taking, I'm using post method at in the form of request dot method. I'm taking, yes, it will be post method. And if you want, you can only you can restrict, sorry, you can restrict it that it will be only post method. So you can see that I have taken the task name, task description, and I'm going to use request dot post or get to get this one. But before talking this function based view, let's go to the template. Okay, so let me show you the template first. Where is my template? Okay, this is my template, and let me show you. Let me close all this, and now you will see my. Let me show you first include. In the nav bar, you can see that I have mentioned this is my first route that is matching with the fun. UI.py of project, and the second that I want to show is task underscore list, which is coming from UI.py of app. You can see this is the route that this is the route that I want to show. That means, what is the use of navbar? So in the navbar, if you don't mention over here, then this page will not open. You cannot open this page because in the navbar we have mentioned. That's why you are able to see the page. And I have given the name as task list. And also this is doing nothing but it's going to check that which URL, which alias is matching with this, or and with that alias which route is matching. So let me show you again the UI.py. Let me close this one. Hmm. And now let's go to the UI.py. So you can, as you can see, this is the alias which is matching with my navbar. So it's checking that which route is matching with this. So you can see this is an empty route. So that's why it's working over there. So navbar, there's nothing else to talk about navbar. So let me close this one. Okay. So now we will go to the template of main. This is my main. I have given the name as main for this folder, and here I have given two templates. Okay, what is, oh sorry. So you can see this is my template. That means I have taken first, let me show you that I'm going to inherit the properties of, or the whatever I have mentioned in the base.html. I'm going to inherit all this thing. That means I don't need to mention again the bootstrap, again the javascript, again the custom javascript. So I don't need to do again, and also I don't need to include the navbar again and again. So that's why I'm going to inherit the properties of my mm, base.html. That's why I mentioned here I'm going to use the ginger template tag, which is extends, and this will inherit the properties of base.html. And also I have mentioned load static. It's not necessary. If you want, you can use that. Okay, and then next what I take, I have taken the block content that I mentioned in the base.html as well. And also I'm taking a form. This is nothing but a form. So let me show you from here. I need to, okay. This is the first part. Actually, in this template, you can see three parts. First part is what? First part, I'm inheriting the properties of base.html. This is the first part. Second part is what? Second part is what? Second part is form. That means this is up to this one. Form. I'm taking a form to submit because I want to submit some data to get a response from the backend. So that's why I'm using a form. That means here you will see. Let me show you. Okay, let me show you. Here you can see it's some we are using a task and description to provide. I mean, you have to provide task and description. So after that, you have a button to click, and then you will get the data. Sorry, then what will happen? Then it will send the request to backend, and then backend will give the response. Okay. Hmm. Okay, let's go again. So this is a form. Here we have mentioned that method will be post, and also I am taking CSRF token. This is again I'm using Gina template tag. And if you don't mention CSRF token, then it will be issue of security. For security purpose, we mention CSRF token. That means let me show you. If I go and check over here, I mean if I go to view page source, then you will be able to see the CSRF token over here. Okay, so you are able to see the source, and the time I will refresh it, it will get changed. Let me first, okay, zoom it. Now you will be, let me move. Okay, so you can see that right now what is the end part? PZZP8S. Now if I refresh, every time CSF token will be changed. Let me show you. Hmm. Okay, wait. Let me refresh this one. Hmm. Nothing but will be visual because I didn't start the server. Now let me reload. Now you can see the CSRF token got changed. So every time you will reload the page, the CSRF token will be changed. So I used over here CSRF token. Okay. And next I'm just taking one label for task and input. And again, okay, let me tell you that here I have mentioned ID. ID of task ID will be hidden because I'm not going to show my ID. And you also, we didn't mention ID in my model because ID will be automatic generated, so we don't need to mention. And here I have mentioned, I have written hidden. If you not mention hidden, then it will be visible in your page. So if you want to see your ID number, then you can go for number here. Okay, next what I did for task name, I have mentioned the type will be task and the ID will be task underscore name, name will be task underscore name. Okay, and I have given a placeholder. If you want, you can give it, or you can skip this part as well. Okay, now next level is for description, and I am taken input. Sorry, text area for description, because it will be maybe some row or some column. That's why I mentioned over here. Okay, in text area we didn't if you want, you can write so many words, so that's why I mentioned over here text area, because description can be long. And next, what is the I have taken a add button, that's why I used a button tag, and here I'm giving the type will be submit. And you can see why we are using ID over here. I mean, in this in the first input, we used ID for task ID. That means we use ID in everywhere, for task ID, for task name, and also for task description. We use ID. Why we are using ID? Because we are going to use this ID in my Ajax. I will use this ID in Ajax with hash. That means I will how it will understand that we are going to take the task name or task ID or task description. So with the help of ID, we will do it. If we go to use the class, that means if you want, you can skip this part. Then what you have to do, you have to use the class. And for use class, we have to use dot. But right now, let me, when I will show you my Ajax, it will be easy to understand. So as you can see that I have given. And also let me tell you that I have taken a one ID for acknowledge. That means whatever message you will see, that successful, yes, your task has added successfully, or this task is already exist. So this message will be seen over here. That's why this message will be visible over here. That's why I mentioned over here I have given a div. So div is nothing but a space. Okay, next. So this is up to this. You can see, that means this whatever thing you can see, or up to this one. I mean, up to add. This is just because of this template. Okay. So now what will happen? Let me show you the Ajax part. Hmm. So you can see that this is my Ajax pattern. Whenever you are going to work in Ajax, jQuery in Ajax, you have to first give this one. That means dollar document. This is document is what? This is a DOM. That means document object model. Okay. So we are going to use document. And also let me tell you that each thing, that means here whatever we are using, task name or task description, task ID, these are what? These are DOM elements that we are going to use in Ajax. Okay. So okay, now what will happen? So you can see that I have used a ready function. You have to use the ready function. This will call your jQuery. And if you don't use anything that means document or ready, then it will be problem for you. So now and also this ready is a function, and this ready function will take anonymous function, which is mentioned over here. And this function will it will be empty first, and then you can see I'm just passing a message to check that whether my Ajax is working properly or not. So this message you will be able to see over here. If I go to the console, I mean inspect, and then I will go to console, then you can see Ajax is ready. This message is coming from where? This message is coming from here. That means here I have mentioned Ajax is ready. That's why it's coming over here. That means my jQuery is working perfectly. Now let me show you the registration part, that means the insert part. Here you can see that I have used the DOM element for submission. That means the button that I will click, add button. For that I have used, let me show side by side so it will be easy to understand. Okay. So here you can see, let me close the sidebar. Okay, so now you are you can understand that I have used here id for id to submit the form. So this id will I've used first, that means this is a dom element, so this dom element I'm using over here, and you can see I've again given the dollar, and then within parentheses I have, in this way you have to write this one, and then you can see that I have written dot click. What is this dot click? Dot click is nothing but this is the event, uh, and you can see actually this is a click, we can call it as a click function, or because we are going to click it, but actually it is a placeholder, or you can see that this will stop your stop the page to submit, the whole page to submit. Okay, so for that reason I'm taking a this will again take a anonymous function, and this anonymous function will take a event, that means a argument which will be event, and here we are going to write this one, that means event dot prevent default. That means we know that ajax is jquery is asynchronous, that means it is not going to reload the page. So to prevent the reload, we are going to use event dot prevent default function. This is a function again. Okay, so we are going to use, so that means the page will not submit fully. And next what will happen, you can see that it's not easy, that means the controller flow, if someone explain it better, then it will be okay. But if you think that no, first I will explain the or first we will work only on the views.py or only on the template, so it will not work. You have to understand the control of flow, which is very 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 important. So now let me tell you that we are using here const variable, and we are going to take the we are going to use the dom elements of dom elements, which is task id, task name, and task description, and also csrf token. In this way we will take this dom elements and we will store in the variable. Okay, and now this variable we have already stored, and also let me tell you that initially it is empty, that means we have no task id, we have no task name, we have no task description. As you can see over here, we have nothing, these are all empty. So that's why I have given here well empty, well function. I'm using well function, which is empty right now, showing that yes, it is empty. So in this way, we will take task ID, task name, task description, and also CSRF token. This will all will be empty initially, and now I'm just passing a message over here that just to check. If you want, you can skip this part. I'm just as I was testing that if some suppose you are getting some error, then you have to find out where your error is occurring. So that's why I have passed a message over a console.log. That means when I will put the task name, task description, and then I will click on the button, add button, then this message, this console.log message will be visible in console. So that in this way you can check that yes, this part is working or not. So now let's go to the Ajax. So in the Ajax, we know that this is asynchronous. So it will work up to this one. That means from here to here up to data. Success part will come in later. So let me show you the data part as well. So here, what will happen? So we can see that method will be post, and we are getting data. I mean, I'm going to store this task ID into task. That means you have to pass that which data you want from backend. So here what will happen? This task ID I'm going to store. If you want, you can use this one as well, but I'm not. That means your DOM element as well, but I'm not using DOM element. So I'm just as I have already stored this one into a variable. So that's why I'm using only variable. So task ID will be task ID, and task name, task description, and also CSRF token. I have mentioned all the things over here. Now, so up to this, and then we will go for the URL. Actually, you will go firstly URL, and but I am telling you later. So let me tell you that about the URL part. So it will check the URL, that which URL is matching with this one. So how it will check? You can see that I have used here in this way. That means this is nothing but a okay, wait a minute. Okay, so you can see that I'm just checking that this is a conditional check. If I have task ID, if I have task ID, then this part will work. But if I have no task ID, then this route will work. Means this is a ternary operation. Let me mention. if I want to mention, okay, let it be. So initially you can see, suppose I have already a data, but if I have no data, then what will happen? So you can see that I don't have any task and no description to edit part, then it will go for add. But if I have any part to edit, suppose I'm clicking on edit button, then this route will work. But if I don't have anything to edit, then this route will come in picture. Okay, so from here what will happen, it will again go to the urs.py of my app, and from here it will check that yes, this route is matching, this route actually add is matching with which function based view. So it will matching with this function based view, so that the control will directly go to the view.py, and from here it will be this will work. That means let me, okay, so from here it will work. And what will happen, so you can see that we have already taken the, we have mentioned that post method will work over here, and we are going to take, as we have mentioned, let me here I need to show you the ajax part, so it will be easy to understand. Okay, so you can see that I have taken the data, the task ID, and this task ID will come from where? So it will coming from here. That means from the task name. We are going to send the request in request.post.get. So it will take the task name, task description, and then what will happen? We are going to check that, suppose if someone forget to give the task name, but it will, I know that it will not going to happen, but suppose if someone forget, or someone is going to just going to check for fun, or just going to check for the yes it is working out properly or not. So if a user not provide the task name, then what will happen, then it will simply give you a message like task name should be provided. It will return you JSON response that task name should be provided. And if we have task name, then what, then it will go for uniqueness check. I can mention over here for uniqueness. Hmm, okay, uniqueness check. That means it will check that this task is already exist or not. So for this, what will happen? I have written here that if not task is what? Task is my model. Okay. And objects is my mapper, and filter is again ORM. So I'm using an ORM to check that this task name that I just provide, it is exist or not. So that's why I use the exist function, and this will check that this name is already exist or not. If it not exist, because I mentioned here if not, so if this condition fulfilled, that means this name is not exist, then what will happen? Then simply we are going to store a new raw data in our model. So in this way, task dot object dot create, this create is again ORM. So we are going to create ORM to create a new raw data. So for that reason, I will pass name and description over here. And now I'm going to update my list. That means update my new query set, or new table, update my table. So for that reason, I'm going to take again, I'm going to use task.object.all again, and this will get stored in my task reference, which is of the query set. If you want, you can check this one up to this. Let me give a line over here. Yeah. If you want, you can check in this way. Okay, that this is the query set. So let me give some data over here. If I go and if I give some data, suppose I'm going to choose data like Django. Description will be I am doing this. Okay, now I'm going to, when I will click add button, what will happen? So the moment I will click add button, you will be able to see here something which is, let me show you. So you can see we have mentioned we got a message task error successfully. This is because I given the message over here. Let me show you. Okay. So you are able to see this query set. Okay, this is a type of query set. In this way, we get the raw data. Okay, so I just wanted to show you. Mm, Now let me stop the server. Okay, I will run. Okay. Hmm. So you can you have already seen this. Now let me comment this one. Okay. Uh, okay. Now okay. So it will get stored in this task, and now we will go for type error objects of type query set is not JSON necessary. We have already I have already told you that this is not a JSON or a JSON serializer. That means we are using this is a Python data type. So I've just mentioned over here. And now we know that we are going to work on Ajax and we are using templates. This whatever data we are going to we are going to provide it is of type string. Sorry, of type HTML. We are using HTML. So we need to convert it. That's why you have seen that I have used here render to string. I'm importing this one to just change the HTML into string, and that's why I'm taking a I'm just going to render. I'm using to render to string. This is a function, and with the help of this function I'm just going to pass this function will take two parameters. First will be the HTML page or the template that I want to pass over here, and actually not. Let me tell you clearly. This render function will take two parameter. And the first, we will talk about the first letter, but first let me take the second parameter. Second parameter is doing what? This is going to take the query set which I just provided. This is the context I'm passing here, and whatever data I have in my task, so it will pass or it will render to the task underscore rows.html, this page. And if we talk about this page, then we have to go to here. Let me show you what is inside this one. So inside what we have, before that I need to show you that here the second part which is we have taken is table. So in this table I have passed I've given the task list. Okay, I have passed some table name, which is task name, description, edit, delete, status, and over here I am passing a ID which is task list, but it is not necessary right now. We are talking about this one. We are going to include this template in my add underscore task.html. That means right now this HTML page is my parent, and this will be your child template, and we are going to include this template over here. That means that's why we have called let me show you. That's why we have called Mhm, mhm. Hmm. So we are going to call this task underscore rows.html because we have already included this part over here. That means right now, whatever data or whatever thing we will work over here, it will, or you can simply say that it will come over here. And here what we are doing, we are doing here interpolation. That means I'm here performing iteration. You can see that it will be a loop, like we are checking that and also let me tell you that is a Jinja template tag. So we are checking that we are going to iteration. So I am taking each task from this task row. Each row will get a store in this task, and then it will perform this one. That means we are going to take the task name from there, task description from there. Okay, and then what will happen? And it will get stored over here. That means as you can see, don't go for edit and delete part for now. We will discuss it later. But it's whatever you are able to see over here. This is just because we are rendering, or you can see that in the view.py, you can see I have mentioned over here that this task will call to the task underscore rows.html, which is here. That means initially first it will work up to this, it will work, and that's why you are able to see your data in your front end. Okay, so for the time being, let it be up to this one. Okay, and now you can see I have passed and it will get stored in the html underscore string variable, which is of type string. Now so it will pass a return, it will pass a message which will be tasked successfully, because we are going to return JSON response, and this JSON response will take two parameters. First will be task that I'm going to pass over here. This task will come over here, and I'm passing a message, and also a status 201. And suppose if my task already exists, then it will pass a message called task already exist. Okay, so now after doing all this thing, this will again call to the Ajax because we have came from Ajax. So it will again go to the Ajax, and from here, what will happen? Let me close all the tabs. Okay, now, so from here, what will happen? So from here, we are already we have already done the data. Data part. Now it will the success will come in picture. And as we have already provided, that means task underscore ID, task underscore name, task underscore description, register button. We have already clicked on the button. So now what will happen? Now it will empty all the inputs or text area. That means it will empty the ID, it will empty. If you want, you cannot mention over here. Let me comment this one. This is not necessary, but if you want, you can add. So it will empty all the input that I have provided over there. That means task name, task description. Otherwise, if you not give over here, then you have to clear your inputs by yourself on clicking refresh button. Let me show you. Let me enter again a data. Suppose I am entering HTML, and the time when I will, let me write again only good. I'm just writing good. So suppose I'm clicking on add button, then and you will be able that these input will be empty when I will click on the add button. So as you can see, this is empty, and this is just because I have mentioned over here, I have given the value will be empty. Well, function using empty, that's why it's going to empty. And then what will happen? Okay, and you can see this. This I'm just passing because add button. I'm clicking on the add button, then only it will work. So okay, now. Hmm. And as I want to pass a message over here, and we have taken a DOM, we have taken an ID in my HTML page as acknowledge. So I'm using over here that the message will be response.message, and it will be in color green, and this will be shown only for 3 seconds. Okay, and then after doing all the thing, it will not update your list. If you let me do this, let me comment this one, and again I want to add a data, and then let's see what going to happen. So suppose I'm passing CSS, and I will write over here again good. So oh, right now it's working. Task oh, because I didn't reload the page, that's why. Let me again do this. So let me delete this one. Wait a minute. So now if I again go to give the data, then what will happen? Oh, it's again working. Let me stop the server and start it again. Now let me delete this one. Okay. Description can be empty. It's again reloading. Maybe something is creating problem. What I did? Oh, maybe comment line will not work. Let me clean this one. Again, I will try and I will show you how it's working. Let me reload the page and let me clear the cache. Okay. Suppose I'm going to cycling, and then yes, now the task added successfully, but you are not able to see here because I'm not going to provide you the list again. It's not going to update the list. Okay, that's why you are not able to see. But the moment I will give it again, and let me, this will update your list that you are able to see here. Let me reload it. Okay, so you can see I have passed the task over here, and it is visible in your task list because I have used the. Okay, let me show you. Here you can see that I have passed ID for task list, and I'm using this task list to update my list, and that's why it's working. So in this way, and this way you can update your list with the help of the same thing that I mentioned just. Okay. And next, suppose if there is any error, then this error part will come. Suppose if there is no error, then it will not work. But if there is an error, then I'm just passing a message, const error message, and this message is coming from my Vue.py. But suppose it's not working, then an additional message I'm passing away, an error occur. So right now, again, acknowledge will work, and this will give you error. This error, that means an error occur, or if everything is any message you want to pass in the mutual Python, it will come here. Okay, and it will come in color red and 3000. So let me show you how it's working. Suppose I want to give again a task called Django. Then you can see it's coming in red. Task already exists. This is because error part is working. So let me stop this video over here, and in next video we will discuss the edit part, and then we will discuss the delete and status. Okay, thank you very much. Stay happy and healthy and keep practice. We will meet again in the next video. Thank you very much.